Hello and welcome. I'm Cory Puffett, class of 2010, and a faculty member here at DeMatha Catholic High School. I'm here today with Connor Glowacki, our communications manager. And with the NFL draft rapidly approaching, there are several stags in the mix. With the help of head football coach Bill McGregor, we've reached out to these alums, and Connor and I will be interviewing them as a lead up to the draft. And then we'll be sharing these interviews via Facebook. After the draft, it is our plan to expand this platform outside of the athletic arena, to include other members of the DeMatha community. It is our way of keeping Stagnation engaged during this pandemic. On behalf of Father James, our president, and Dr. McMahon, our principal, and the entire DeMatha Catholic High School community, we thank you for your support. I'm now joined by Connor Glowacki and Tino Ellis. Thank you, Tino, for coming on with us.
Thanks for having me.
It's great to see you as we get set for the draft. And, obviously, we would have loved to have had you on campus at DeMatha to do this interview in person. But with the world as it is today, we have to do this all through Zoom. How has the pandemic affected you in particular with your training as you lead up to the draft?
It affected the whole entire process, actually. It's crazy. I would have never thought this. I have to do interviews and stuff over Zoom, and with when I was supposed to be meeting with them in person, and I'm supposed to be actually still in Miami training all the way up to the draft. But it definitely affected me a lot. But I'm getting through it.
So I want to start with a few questions. Just looking back at your DeMatha career, some of your favorite moments, favorite teacher, favorite class that you had at DeMatha.
So one of my favorite teachers of all time is Mr. O'Connor. He teaches Spanish. We have developed a relationship over the years, and we still in communication sometimes over like Twitter and stuff like that. And one of my favorite moments, I would just say like the DeMatha basketball, going to the basketball games with some of the guys, my teammates, and being in the student section, cheering those guys on. I really, I still think about those memories to this day.
You were recruited by a bunch of schools nationally. Obviously, you chose Maryland. You decided to stay local just a few minutes from DeMatha. What made that decision for you?
The reason I made that decision, I wanted to stay home and play in front of my family and friends, and plus the reputation the University of Maryland had, which is a great reputation, and to have a degree with is amazing. So that's the reason why I picked the University of Maryland.
And obviously at DeMatha, you known as wide receiver, excelled on the field, and then you switched over to cornerback. How was that switch overall, and just how was that transition process from the position and from DeMatha to Maryland as a whole?
That transition, position-wise, was very difficult because I never played that position before. At DeMatha, I just played receiver and safety. I never played cornerback, so it was a new experience for me. I had to learn a new entire position. It was tough, but the coaches and the staff helped me and got me right with that. But the transition to DeMatha to the University of Maryland as a student, DeMatha really prepared me for that. The work really wasn't too stressful because the work at DeMatha put me through a lot. So DeMatha definitely prepared me for college for sure.
Beyond just your preparation and your transition from wide receiver to cornerback, how well prepared did you feel academically going from DeMatha to Maryland, and what was the most difficult transition for you? Was it that switch to corner?
Yeah, the most difficult switch for me was the corner. Like, that was more difficult than anything. The schoolwork at the University of Maryland wasn't as bad as people told me about, but I got through it, and DeMatha really prepared me for it.
You became a full-time starter for your junior season, and obviously it started off with a stellar debut against a nationally ranked Texas team, 4 tackles, pass breakup, and it was so much of a stellar debut that, as you know, Pro Football Focus ranked you as the top cornerback in the nation that week. And then you had a similarly strong performance against Minnesota a few weeks later, 5 pass breakups, 5 tackles. With all that success early on in your junior season, do you feel like opposing quarterbacks avoided your side of the field after that? They had to look out for you when they were planning to go against the defense.
Yeah, I would say after that Texas game and the Minnesota game, I saw a different how the way they attacked me, like different teams attacked me. Usually they didn't really throw my side after those 2 games. So I'll say that's definitely the reason probably why.
And then, you earned honorable mention in the Big Ten your junior year. You returned to College Park for your senior season, and then 6 games in, you suffered that season-ending injury. And it was a season where the Terps were hit really hard by injuries across the board. how has your recovery process looked like? And at this point, do you feel 100%?
Yes, the injury was difficult for me to understand because like one of my first injuries I ever had in my whole entire career. But right now I'm 100% thanks to the trainers that I've been working with at the University of Maryland and at True Sports. A shout out to Yoni. Those guys got me right, and I feel 100% ready to go.
Awesome.
Who was your favorite NFL player growing up, and what about their game connected with you?
My favorite player of all time growing up, I would say it was Ed Reed. Even though I was a receiver at the time when I was watching him, I just enjoyed how he played. The tenacity he had, the leadership skills he showed on the field. That was like one of the guys, and just to see him play was I really enjoyed it as a child.
And DeMatha has our own slew of defensive backs who have had success at the NFL level: Byron Westbrook, Josh Wilson, Rodney McLeod. Have you got a chance to speak with any of those guys? And if so, have you received any advice from them on, your preparation for beginning an NFL career?
I actually talked to Josh probably a couple of days ago. He just told me like enjoy the process, and he asked me, how the interviews and stuff was going, and if I'm still working out and things like that. So I was in communication with him like 3 days ago.
How would it feel to have your name added to their legacy?
That'd be amazing. That'd be a dream come true. That's something I always wanted to do since I stepped foot in DeMatha. Just try to leave a legacy and try to live up to the expectation of those guys and try to follow their footsteps as well.
And this year's draft class seems to be really prolific in terms of former DeMatha players. Yourself, Chase Young, Anthony McFarland, DeAndre Kelly, Deontay Holden, all Stags declaring for next week's draft. Have you guys gotten a chance to talk with one another, especially about this unique draft experience?
Yeah, me and Anthony, we talk every now and then. We was actually like training close to each other in Florida. He was at a different facility though, but we talked about it. At the University of Maryland, just saying, we got to be those guys, man. We have to be those guys that represent the DeMatha in the draft and stuff like that. So, that's one thing we always work towards, and we will see if we fulfill it.
Is there anything that you can point to from your experience playing football at DeMatha that you feel has prepared you for a potential future career in the NFL?
Yeah, just the preparation. Coach Elijah Brooks and his staff, they taught me so much, and just the passion they have for the game. It was a lot, and then affected on me as well. And I'm so thankful to have that opportunity and to be at DeMatha at that time. It was truly an amazing experience and something I'll never forget.
Tino, what's advice you would give to a current DeMatha freshman in the beginning stages of his high school experience? And if you can add on to that, a current DeMatha senior, not only about to embark on a college journey, but seeing how their senior year is pretty different from a lot of other senior years that you would normally expect. What would you tell both of those kind of DeMatha students?
I would tell them enjoy the process, of being in high school and the moments and the friends and the memories that you are making. That's something I always reflect on almost every day. Just the time I had in high school, the people I met, my brothers at DeMatha. I'll just say enjoy the moment, enjoy the time, because it goes by so fast. It's so fast. I remember I was a freshman my first day at DeMatha. So I was just telling them enjoy it, like really enjoy it, and have fun with it.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for joining us, Tino. We really appreciate your time. We know that you're busy, especially trying to balance everything, and trying to get your workouts in through all of this mess that's going on. Obviously there's not really a whole lot else going on right now. So I'll definitely be plopped in front of my TV watching the draft next weekend. And I'm very much hoping to see your name called.
Thank you. Thanks for having me. I really appreciate it, guys.
All right. Thank you.
No problem.